Hi, it's Stephen from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and I'm coming to do the second video in the response to Simon, the Hermit's Caves tag. The first one was about Tarot Decks, Tarot Shelf 2018, and I've just recorded that and uploaded that. And so now I'm recording the second part about Oracle Decks, Oracle Shelf 2018. So again, I've only got a handful, but Simon says it's not the quantity. You know, people like to have a lot of decks around them for various reasons, to use them or to collect, or a combination of the two reasons. And some people just like to have a handful of decks that they really work with and connect with really well and use. And I probably fall into the latter category that I've just mentioned. But I've only really been getting into more of these decks throughout this year, so I just, if I see a deck that I connect with and like and can afford, then I tend to get it. So will my tarot and oracle collection grow? I would probably say so. There will be further decks coming in 2019, maybe one or two before the end of this year, never know. But anyway, this is the Oracle shelf. This is Oracle decks, and the for a very long time, right up until in my tarot video, I said I only had two tarot decks. When I started looking at videos, sort of around October, November of last year, right up to starting my channel, and towards the end of January of this year, I had only had those two tarot decks to work with, and I only had one Oracle deck to work with. I did have, but I don't know where it is, and I'm not really interested in finding it. If it turns up, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It was a Doreen Virtue Archangel deck that I had while I was still in the church, in the Christian path, and I did use a couple of times while I was in the church, on the quiet. Naughty me, eh? And well, I sort of okayed it in my mind for a time by saying, well, it's got archangels in it, which is biblical and connected to Christianity and that kind of thing, so it's not too much of a deviation from the path. But since I've left that, and the deck's somewhere around in storage somewhere, I don't know, and as far as I'm concerned, it can probably stay there, so to be blunt. But the deck that the main Oracle deck that I've used has only been this one, which is the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. And I saw in Simon's Oracle shelf video that he'd got this, and he wasn't too keen on it, and I understand his reasons, but this is a favourite of mine, actually, but that's okay. We can all like different things. We don't all have to like the same things, or you know. And don't think he said he didn't like it. I think he said he couldn't really get to connect with it, and I think he said that that he wasn't quite sure what it was trying to be. And I do take his point on this, because it is, I mean, it's called the Psychic Tarot. Then you've got a little word Oracle deck underneath. So, you know, is it a tarot deck? Is it an oracle deck? I use it as an oracle deck. it's the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. It could just have been called the Psychic Oracle deck, but it does have a little bit of structure to it, like a tarot deck. Not exactly, but on similar lines. Like, you've got cards there with a red border. They belong to the physical realm, a bit like pentacles. Here you've got one with a green border, which is like the emotional area, which is a bit like the cups. You've got a bluish indigo border, which is the mental realm, which is a bit like the swords. And you've got a violet border, which is for the spirit realm, which is a bit like the wands in some ways. That's card 8 in that realm, which is accelerated motion, so it's a bit similar to the 8 of Wands. I say it doesn't have like the court cards and that, but it does do the 1 to 9 in those. You've got some with a black border, which is like the major part, similar. So you're like number 6 there. Harmony, that's similar to the Lover's card in the traditional tarot. So and I connect well with it, and I've had some good readings with it, and I've used it a lot, and it's become a favourite. And the other thing is that it also has cards relating to the chakras, like this one is the throat chakra card, and in the little book that you get with it, it goes through the meanings, and even with those, and it gives you the message there. So this is a long-standing favourite of mine, and I used it all of last month with the Legacy of a Divine Tarot, because I think those two dates go well together for the daily draw. So that's the first one. That's the first one that I had already when entering this community. And then that was it for a while, and then I had, as I mentioned in the tarot video, I got the Wild Unknown tarot, and soon afterwards I was looking for another oracle deck, and the logical choice was the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle. And this is another favourite of mine, and I tend to use it in conjunction with the tarot deck of the Wild Unknown. And it has a really good book, and it comes in its own little box, tarot deck, and it's all obviously all animals, like tiger, one of my favourite animals, and these are like I think that's like the fire animals, and you've got earth and water, and you've also got these an air, like the eagle. So you've got the elements represented. And you've also got like mythical creatures like unicorn, which has got the nice silver circle thing there at the top, which is like a spirit card, or a special spirit realm. So there's some lovely images in here, and if you like animals and you know, what's that one? That's a butterfly. Similar sort of backing, but a lighter colour there from the tarot. And I really liked this deck, and I've used it a lot through the earlier in the year, and this will definitely be coming out again along with the tarot deck. for certain. But the book is really good, and what I like about this, with the meanings, you get like little black and white picture of a card, and like there's the rabbit, and you get like the meaning. You get the general meaning there, and then at the bottom, you get three things at the bottom that really helps using the deck. And you get when in balance, so when this card in balance, and it gives you the meaning of what card means when it's in balance, and you get a meaning for if it's out of balance, and then you get something that you can do to bring it into balance. So so if the rabbit card is in balance, it's about sensitive, problem solver, good listener. When it's out of balance, you over explain things and talk fast. To bring it to balance, have a day of silence or a period of silence. And I was talking about that in one of my daily draws this week. So so yeah, so that's what I've really enjoyed about that, and it's a really good deck. And then in the spirit ones, they tend to represent, like the phoenix is representing the first chakra, so you do get that chakra element again that you had in this Psychic Tarot deck. So that was a very good follow-on deck, I felt, and to follow on from the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. So that was the next Oracle deck I got, the first one, brand new one of the year, and that was it for a while. Worked with those, and the next one I purchased later, more recently, towards the mid part of the year, I think, was the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And I'm actually using this one at the moment with the Shadowscapes Tarot for my daily draws. And again, I love these cards too. Have to really like the images, like the cards, and connect with them before I think of getting a deck. So I like to do my research first. And I mean, look at this. I mean, I love dolphins, ocean wave, ride the wave there, look. That's a brilliant one. I like that, one of my favourite ones. And there's lots of really nice images in this deck. And Magical Map Shifter, the really good, fascinating card there. Yeah, and there's animals, there's people, there's you've got Deep Freeze there. That's a very wintry card there. Making a choice. Some of these words are, you know, if you don't want to use the guidebook, you come through intuition, get something from these images quite easily. Some may take a little bit of work to do that with, but stuck in the mud there, little elephant. Yeah, fascinating. The little book is good too, and you get like with this card movement there, you get the word movement, then you get a little phrase, you are in a time of positive forward motion, so that's a little phrase that you can latch onto. And then with these you get an upright meaning, and you also get a reverse meaning for each of the cards. I don't tend to use reversals in tarot or in Oracle at the moment, but the option is there if you want to do reversals with this Oracle deck, and it has a meaning for upright and reversed. So it's a really nice deck, and those are the backs, and as I say, some really Wizard of Awareness. There you go. That's one of my other favourites. And yes, so that was the other deck that I got, and I really connect with it. So So that's deck number 3. And then for I wanted an Oracle deck to use with the Deviant Moon deck of the tarot for my daily draws for October to lead into Samhain, Halloween, and I got the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco, and this is really good. I really enjoyed that. That was a really good month for me, and nice little book again with the meanings, and you get a little poem there at the beginning and the meaning. Thing about these is the backs are a little sort of cartoony sort of images, just the bats and the pumpkins and everything. And a common remark is that the backs sort of don't really keep in with the wonderful artwork. You think they'd have a more artistic back to them, but you don't look at the backs most of the time. You look at the front, and the front of the cards are really beautiful. And there's some skull cards in here, a lot of skulls represented, which was good. That's the Underworld card, but there's actual skull cards. You got the Black Cat, so it's all very Halloween, trick or treat with mischief and play keywords at the bottom underneath the title. So then you've got the meanings in the book. Spider, Arf, Vampire. I'm trying to find Ancestors, Samhain, where you remember ancestors, and that's about the love and legacy of our DNA. So that's represented there. You've got winter, the sacredness of pausing there, very apt for now. And yeah, you've got like Skull of Flowers. So you've got like Skull of Flowers with that meaning. You've got Skull of Light, Skull of Stars, and Skull of Darkness, things like that. So you've got all kinds of interesting cards there to do a reading with, and it worked really well with the Deviant Moon deck. And I really enjoyed that month of October, which was great for doing the daily readings with this deck. So that's that deck. And the next to last, well, I'm going to say next pure oracle is the Moonology oracle cards. And I've used these a bit, and quite to me it's a fun deck. You don't necessarily it is to do with the phases of the moon, but you don't really work with it in the sense of work with the current energy of the moon. You can draw like new moon in Scorpio when the new moon isn't in Scorpio, sort of thing, and you just take the meaning from the book, and it has ways of attuning to the moon and that specific kind of energy. So it's just a basic oracle deck, really. There is ways to work with the energy of the moon, and this was a deck that there's a book, not necessarily to the deck, but it's a book about moonology, about working with the energy of the moon, that I've started reading, and it was the book that really interested me, and the book is really good. This is okay. This gives you a nice, you've got here new moon in Scorpio, and you've got the new moon, you've got the Scorpio bit there, the Scorpion, and you've got work through your fears is the key phrase there. And I did a couple of readings with it, asked a couple of questions, and it did give me some interesting insight into the questions I was asking. So it's not for everybody. Some people don't like it. They don't think it's a bit too simplistic. Doesn't really go well. And there are other moon oracle decks that I know that perhaps might be better, and I may get eventually. But it's okay. And you can, if it is the new moon in Scorpio, you could take that new moon in Scorpio card and place it somewhere during that time to, you know, where you, if you have a sacred space or something, just display it, and it reminds you that the new moon's in Scorpio at that moment, and you could just use it that way. So there you go. So that was one of the latest ones, but I almost got it because I got the book as well, I've actually got the book here. I know we're not showing books really, but I'll show you the book. Moonology, and it's by Yasmin Bolin, and it's a really good book for if you want to get to working with the moon energy, following the phases, and how to use it to work with energy, sort of do a bit of moon magic, as it were. And I've not finished it yet. I'm working through it slowly. So so there you go. That was the latest. So that's that one, and there's only one more deck now, and it's not really an oracle deck. It's actually a Lenormand deck that I got early on here when I was thinking of having a bit of a look at Lenormand, which I did, but I didn't feel it was the time for me to really progress with, because I was still getting used to the tarot, and that's the but it was by Ciro Marchetti. He's one of my favourite artists. I've got 2 tarot decks by him, and it's the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck by him, and I'm hanging on to this because at some point I may go into Lenormand. It's a completely different system to tarot, but it's got some really nice images on them to represent the different symbols of Lenormand, and it's just taking time to learn the system. And we've got the birds up there, really nice images, and you know, I keep it because I like to keep my options open, and one day I might get to studying how to work with Lenormand, but until then it sits on my shelf. So and that's it. That's the oracle decks that I've got. There's a couple I've got my eye on, maybe some to do with the moon. I think it's called the Moon Oracle or something like that. There's a Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, and the Mystical Shaman Oracle is another Oracle deck that I've got my eye on, possibly getting, and yeah, because I'm getting into Oracle decks a bit more, and I'd like to be able to pair them with my tarot decks to do a 2-card draw in the morning. So so there we have it. So there's my response to the Oracle Shelf 2018. So I shall look forward to seeing other responses. I may get some more ideas for other Oracle decks. So thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye.